So the first thing that we are going to need in order to run Colab is a Colab notebook. In this course, I'm going to be providing quite a few of them. Okay, you have all the notebooks in the course here, and hopefully we will keep adding to the courses. You could also just come log into your Google user and either in Drive or in Colab itself do something like new notebook in Drive. Okay, and you could create your own, which is often very convenient. Let's say that we want to use one of the Colab notebooks in my courses. So let's click in the first one, for example, unit 1 for variables. We wait a little bit for it to open, and then here we have access to this notebook. It's interesting to know what happened with this very simple click. Well, what happened is that this notebook that someone, in this case me, prepared for you got copied into a distributed machine that Google has somewhere in the world. Okay, so this thing is not running anymore in our computer, it's running in a distributed computer. We can see that computer either by clicking at the folder icon where we see the hard drive of the computer, and if we, for example, make some files or modify some files, all of that will happen here in this distributed computer's hard drive. This is a Linux machine, by the way. And we can also see that machine by clicking, for example, at the resources icon. And here we can see the RAM the machine has and the disk memory and how much. We also get some ads for Google Colab Pro and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's close these things and say that Google Colab is a system to run these notebooks in a distributed way, and it's free. Okay, Google Colab has a paid tier that you don't have to concern yourself about with at this moment. For following the course, you can make do with the free version of Colab, so you can just read the notebooks and run them and run the code, and we will see how to do that in a second. If then you want to go for more in-depth programming or do things like run more than a notebook at a time, then you might consider the paid version, or you might consider running Python code in other systems, in other ways. Okay, there are many different ways to run Python code, and Colab notebooks are just one that is convenient for me to show you course notes mixed with the code, and for you to run that code without having to install anything else. But we will speak about other ways to run Python code in time. Okay, so enough of that. Let's see about this running of Python code. In this case, in this first notebook of the courses, we have some text speaking about variables and types and so on and so forth. And after a while, so these are all text cells in the notebook. After a while, we get to a code cell, and we can tell that because if we click on it, this play icon appears. If we click on the play icon, then we run the code. In this case, Google is telling me that this notebook is not officially Google, it's authored by someone else, by me. Okay, and I'm telling, okay, that's fine, we can run it anyway. Okay, we can run it by by pressing play, or by pressing in the keyboard Control and Enter. In this case, nothing much happened because I'm just assigning a value to a variable, and do read the text to see what that means. But for example, if I click here, after running the code, something is printed. Okay, and so on and so forth. Running other parts of the code will create other outputs. Notice that whenever I press play or Control plus Enter, this code that was copied to that distributed machine is running on that machine. If I want to modify the code, So instead of ramen price 750, let's say it's 500 because I have found a really cheap and nice ramen shop. Then I can modify and run it without any problem. If I want to save it, okay, I should come to File, Save, and in this case it would tell me, okay, fine. Oh, okay, it already worked. I'm in a different user. You do not have permission to save this notebook. Okay, you will not be able to modify the original notebooks that I uploaded, but you can save a copy in your Google Drive. Okay, so if you want to follow the courses, I recommend that you modify wherever and save a copy in the Google Drive whenever you want to make new code. Okay, so that's how we are going to be using Google Drive in this course.